Oh, so,
I
and
almost went down.
yeah,
See?
yeah, yeah. Why hasn't it worked? And whose fault is it? Because you've been talking about accountability, you've been talking about high functioning, and you literally told me in my situation, because of the type of high functioning and low functioning people I'm choosing,
Yep.
why hasn't it worked for you?
For the first few, I was low functioning and I was still in my healing journey. And so I law of attracted low functioning.
That happened all four, or just the first
The first, I would say like the first two or three,
two? Okay.
definitely low functioning of myself.
How were you low functioning that found things that where you
Yeah.
thought this was your match, this was your person,
Yeah.
and then it still didn't go
So,
through because you were low
so I
function?
take accountability. It was my fault because I knew all of them were not my person. And so this is why I say it's not their fault
Right.
because these men wasn't no infidelity. You know, they weren't beating on me. I attract good men, but I wasn't in the space of being ready to marry them. But I
Yeah.
needed them to be good for me, Nick, because I needed something good to be reflected on me for my healing journey.
The chaos reign.
Yo, what's good? All right. Yes. Yes. What's good, everybody? How's everybody doing, man? Is this me, Chaos Rain here, or the Chaos Rain Show? I like to call it. Welcome to today's stream. And you know, how can I say this, guys? The internet is such a not lonely place, but a very unique place that you could find so much fuckery going on the internet. But before I begin today's stream, I'm gonna give you links to follow me. You can follow me on Twitter at ChaosRain7. You can add me as a friend on Facebook, Eric Ray on Facebook. Um, Also, join my Discord service. And and also please follow my Rumble page as well. Let me take a look. What's the account on Rumble? Cause I'm looking a while. I probably have maybe I got 30 now. Maybe I don't. Who knows? Let's take a look. Oh no, I need one more to make 30. I'm trying to grow the Rumble page, so with your assistance, please join my Rumble handler, and I'll drop the link in the chat room for those that want to follow me at Rumble. Here's my Rumble handler. Also, not forget. Oh yeah, please become a member of the Chaos Rain Show as well. As you know, membership has perks like always, and that is it. Now, this subject for today's video or stream, whatever you want to call it, I came across the alleged viral video now of the one Cam Newton having an interview with Miss Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. If I pronounce her first name right. And I have to tell you, I am not really impressed with a lot of these so-called athletes or entertainers with their interviewing skills, or lack of. I think that if they're going to interview people, they should get a little have some assistance in really asking some real questions or questions that really put your guests in the corner at least. I sometimes when I did the interviews on my channel for some time now, I had somewhat this issue. I'm not sure if I still had the issue now when I bring people up to have the conversation, but nonetheless, when you have interviews, it would be better to ask the real harsh questions. But nonetheless, everybody does their podcasting differently. But before that, or after that, I think the conversation they had was one that's eye catching, and it's very telling about the situation of a lot of Western women, modern women. I think the men today we're in a pretty good spot right now when it comes if we're talking about this relationship thing between men and women. And we're talking about black folks. I mean, let's keep real, brothers. I mean, it is not hard from what I'm hearing or saying. Not saying it's easier, but I've come to the conclusion that the more these ladies are in certain institutions, it is very difficult for them to really pair bond and really be on, any man's program. I mean, that's how I see it. But that's just me. That's just me. Let me see what's going on. But you know what? Before we go, let's look at the good doctor's bio. Let me see if I have her up here. I doubt it. Yeah. Because one thing, before I look at this breakdown, and I don't think I'm going to go through it the whole entire video. The video is just too lengthy, and most of the content that was done between Cam and Dr. Bryant, if you have the stomach to water it, go ahead and watch from its entirety. But personally, I mean, I don't know if I could do it, but I'm a person that had to really listen to the content and give a real assessment of what has not only been said, but what really is going on here that made it go viral, that the ladies are talking about it, and some men are talking about it in a way, in my opinion. So let's see this. Let's look at the bio. Oh, I didn't prepare it. Hold on a second. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. All right. All right, I found it now. So let's look at this. All right. We're going to look at Dr. Bryant. We got to look at the background before we go into the video, because I think people heard enough about her past to the degree, but they really don't understand what she has really accomplished. Now I think about it. Now let's look at this. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant biography. As you know, she's a psychologist, expert, renowned life coach, co-producer of MTV's nominated Best Unscripted Reality Show, Teen Mom Family Reunion, ranked #1 author in Success Magazine, top 20 features in Forbes, Oprah, Insight, Huffington Post, USA Today, and many more. Dr. Bryant is the president of the NAACP branch of 1069, founder of Dr. Bryant Institution. Now, I'm going to look at this one. Who's the president of the NAACP? Make sure if that's really her. And it looks like here, let me see. Derek Johnson has been the president of the CEO of the NAACP since October 2017. Johnson has been a leader of the member NAACP for a long time. It says here's a man that's the founder. I'm not sure where she come from, but it must be some branch of NAACP where she's at in California, maybe. And I'm going to look at more of leaders. Yeah, he's CEO. Okay. So I think the NAACP has different branches. That's the only thing I can conclude. So I'm not going into detail that. Let me keep looking at this. Dr. Bryant's mission is to spread her message and expertise on how to lead a healthier, happier, balanced, and more fulfilling life. For years, she has shared her wisdom, awareness, mastery, and insight through her private practice books, lectures, workshops, and assistance. With life impairments and challenges, Dr. Bryant embarks on a similar journey as the one you are undertaking, assisted by Ayanna Van Zandt, Oprah Winfrey, Marina Wilson, and many more. Dr. Bryant's passion for healing, encourage, and empower others is what led her to become a doctor in psychology and life coach. And, you know, I have issues now and question these life coaches, because, like, to me, it's like another form of, you know, pacifying the patient, because life is a journey. It's a journey that you have to take and travel and embark by yourself. Yes, there might be roadblocks, and there might be some that will give you a point direction where to go. But overall, you have to live life and take and embrace the hardships and embrace the struggles of this thing we call life. Because at the end of the day, in my opinion, it's better that a man and woman sit there and embrace the pain now in order to reap the actual reward of healing. Because without pain, you will not heal. And to heal, you go out to understand what is your biggest fear and what is your biggest pain that conflicts you on an everyday basis as a man and woman in the world, the living world you live in today. So, Dr. Bryant attends Cal State University in Northern Ridge at the age of 17. While there, she obtains a double degree in psychology and Pan-African studies. See right here, the one thing I do not like is this thing called Pan-African studies, because that's a useless degree. And let me tell you why. You cannot be going into a university, either HBC or a predominantly white institution, what they call PWIs, and learn anything about Pan-Africanism. You should understand and learn what you are and what is your place in this world through going through what Arthur Schonsberg that told John Henry Clark back in the early 20th century that to understand your story or your history, you must go through their literature, their books, because they go and tell about you in their literature, whether it is in honesty or is of all deception and lies. So if you want to understand your actual history, you got to go through their books alone. You cannot wait for an institution like a university to teach you about Pan-Africanism. I even goes first. If they teach you in the university, it's control. That's how I look at it. Anytime you go into their institutions, which that don't treat you right, and they teach you about you as a black person, you're being miseducated. I don't care what anybody say. I don't care how people take it. That's how I know. That's how I look at it. End of story. During her first 2 years, she was undecided, so she's sure why. However, she didn't realize what had triggered her interest until she entered the master program at University of Phoenix. She was about halfway through the master program, and boom, it hit her. She had a lot of healing within herself that needed to be done. Dr. Bryant's desire for self-fulfillment, healing, peace, and balance within herself and others drew her to the field of psychology. Being the overachiever that she is, Dr. Bryant decided to pursue her doctorate degree in counseling and psychology. All right, hold on. All right, I'm back. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't know how long my mic was off. Let's check. Let me test. I gotta test this, guys. Hold on. I apologize. I think because I triggered something, that's why I might have got the mic. But I'm going to test it now. Let me see how long ago my mic was. Okay, I know what's happened. All right, don't worry about it, guys. And nothing really that much said anyway. So I'm gonna go back. Thank God I figured. All right, so let me show you. Oh yeah, what's good, Snowman? I see you. Let me show y'all her one of her social medias, so you get an understanding what I'm saying. Cause no one ever seen cause she has on social media. See, there's a social media handler. Well, she's a doctor, so yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so that's her handler. All right, so let me look at some things. Oh, and one thing I did want to say, I guess her mom did transition when she almost turns 40. Unfortunate, but you know how the stage life is. When I look at her image of her mother, I think her father is same, but her mother, I look, her mother might be maybe Spanish, maybe, or a mulatto, who knows? But she is born and raised in California, so it's a different beast out there. So what do I know? But if my math's sorry right, if her parents had her when they were teenagers, I think she transitioned her mother trans very young, because if she had him 16, yeah, she was probably young when she might have something happen. Yeah, because if her mother like transitioned back 2 years ago, yeah, she's up there in age, but not like up there like that. So, but nonetheless, it's not the focus of the stream. It's all about the good Dr. Shine Bryant. So now, no further ado, we're going to break down, look at this video head on. All right, make sure you guys listen carefully, closely. And make sure you guys subscribe to the channel as well, and make sure to support the channel as well. As you know, we do this at the nighttime, and you don't get no better like this, people. It get no better. Let's begin. And we do the fair use like always. Where is it? Yeah. And support channel. Fair use. And I'm going to put some videos.
What it is, what it ain't, what it could be, what it should be, what it would be. Cam Newton the son, Mr. Boogie, all here with another episode of Funky Friday. Now,
I don't want
What's up?
ask for
To be a celebrity, and I'm not knocking celebrities. I did it again because for me, my
the clock, boom,
All right.
right there. I just asked a simple question.
yeah, and I gave you a simple answer.
That was not simple. That was a lot.
Yeah,
So you're from Los Angeles, California?
I'm from LA.
Okay.
Yeah. I just nipped in all the other questions you was going to ask all in one. I'm making your job easier. Shit.
Extremely. I was like, I just
easier.
wanted to know where you was
Yeah.
from. I was.
Absolutely.
Well, how though?
Yeah. I love that question. It impacted me in a lot of broken ways, but it impacted me in a lot of really healthy ways. Contrast, which is something most people don't like, really is our best friend. And so I always say, as a little girl, no pun intended to everyone who raised me, but I saw a lot of contrast. I saw a lot of who I didn't want to be like. And so what that did was, and this is for the people who don't know where you want to go, don't know who you are, but you don't like your environment, you don't like where you're at. This could be at any age. I always say it's not where you're running to that it gets you there. Oftentimes it's what you're running from. And for me, it was me running from my contrast, saying, I don't want to be that, or that. I don't know who I want to be at this point when I was younger. I don't know where I'm going, but I put my track shoes on, Cam, tied them up, and y'all may.
Let me fast forward. I'm trying to find something because oh my guys. Let me see the star song.
She gonna run away with me.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I was definitely. I had to learn. I love that. That is so on point.
For a little background of this, from as you know, her educational achievement, Mrs. Dr. Bryant does admit that she is a broken woman in many aspects, and the brokenness is a result of her upbringings. Because from her own mouth, she said that her parents, the father and fortune mother, were in the hustling game, pushing drugs. And as you know, if she's a product of the 80s, we had to keep in mind that that's where a lot of the serious drugs were pushed in, during times of Reagan, the hard drugs, the heroin, the cocaine, the all those things, all that really started to push and service in the 80s. So if she was born in the 80s, I would say as a girl, experienced that firsthand. Now I'm not sure how much she experienced because, like, for her own mouth, she was raised mostly from her grandparents and her parents. Her parents were out there, hustling. So my biggest question: if we had no grandparents today, how far you think a lot of young people or people that was born in the 80s would have been? How would they would survive? How would they come out of the cracks if it wasn't for the grandparents? And the answer is a lot of it would be much far worse, in my opinion. In my opinion. But let me fast forward and find some parts to really have a real in-depth conversation now. And make sure you guys like, stream, hit the like button. Likes are free.
You're 100% on point. I definitely have been the run of the track star. I had to learn. I spoke about this earlier with my makeup artist, Felicia. I had to learn what running, not running looked like. See, I didn't have to learn how to get away from you because you weren't treating me good. I didn't have to learn how to make sure you respected me and you showed up solid because I was going to pivot, right? Pivot and running, that's my first nature. I've been doing this all my life. I had my track shoes on. I came into the relationship with my track shoes on, and I went to bed with them with you. So they're not like they was ever off.
And to be honest with you, as a person that is a life coach and she had a doctorate in psychology, I wonder if she, like many people that's in the field, taking her profession, where taking it serious to the point where a lot of people that are psychologists should be getting actual help by other different people that's in the same field as her, in my opinion. And what I've learned, and this is what I got from Dieter out, that most of them don't really do that. And to me, that's frightening. That's scary. And the reason I say it's scary because you're going to be trying to counsel me over my traumas and pain, hurt, and you still not even overcome yours. Especially you as a person that, if I could be wrong for saying this, you seen me moving like a hopeless romantic. And you draw and give a certain vibe that you're a woman that cannot be and will not be satisfied. And running, to me, when you run, is a sign of, not really. To me, running means you're afraid and you're not compliant. If things go not your way, you're going to run and go like Usain Bolt. Fast, 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 like a light bolt. And to me, to a lot of gentlemen, we should all know that these are women that you have to be very cautious. I mean, if you get asked to them, that's cool, but don't expect the relationship or anything out of it, because they are known to be bouncing once the heat gets on or the going gets tough. They're not there for a long time. Hell, they're not going to be investing in you. They're going to be running very fast. Keep that in mind. Let's keep going. Fair use.
I had to learn how to stay and evolve with. I had to learn that commitment's not a feeling, and that when I'm triggered, I have to stay committed to what I said I was going to do, regardless of how I feel, regardless of where this relationship or this conversation triggered or took me in my pain. I couldn't let my pain tell me it's time to leave this Negro and sabotage. I had to let my healthy self say, wait a minute, let me overpower the pain, because the healing is going to say, Do you want to be here? The pain is going to say, you need to be here. And healed people want. Pain people, trauma people need. And so for me, my trauma needed me to detach so I can be okay, because I was coming in broken already. And I had to learn how to be able to stay with my track shoes on, because they still on, but not get on the blocks, and be able to strut and take a walk. But it was a process of learning. And in my process of being a runner, it enabled me to call off 2 weddings. And glad that I made those decisions, but it helped me not stay longer where I wasn't supposed to be. So my running helped, but it also is a weapon.
The chaos reigns.
So that's like the first part, guys. And her explaining why she likes to run in like a track star and all that nonsense. Like I said, avoid those women at all costs. Let's continue.
So I would say it this way. I mean, you've obviously been vocal in talking about running away from things and doing this, it being trauma. Do you have a tangible source in your life, ever had a tangible source in your life that you can touch, see, feel, experience what true love actually is, a healthy relationship?
Yes.
Who is that?
Yes. My grandmother and my father. And now that my mom is sober, my mother.
Now, we got to unpack that. So your trauma, from what I'm getting at, is there is some form of, we got to be honest, some form of abuse in the household. Now, it could be your father or it could be your mother, because if your mother's an alcoholic, we all know what alcohol does. I'm sorry, we all know what alcohol does to the body, to a lot of men and women, especially, let's say, the mothers. And we can say fathers too, because it's worse, but let's say for the women, it is very toxic when you have a mate or someone you love that has an addiction. An addiction takes over their lives, and they cannot function and move, not only inside, but have control within themselves, where they have to constantly go back to that addiction to be able to be functioning. It's not only problematic, but it's very dangerous, because especially when it comes to drugs, alcohol is like any drug. It leads to many things: verbal abuse, excessive verbal abuse, and also physical abuse. Not to mention the constant sickness a lot of people experience, especially say if your mother was rehab and recovered alcoholic. I mean, those days she will sit there, be on it heavy, to the point where, depending how bad the addiction is, someone might, urinate on himself. Someone will, have a hard time compose themselves and moving, because without someone's system, it's very detrimental when you have a loved one that's on dependency. And solutions to that, for those that don't know, is usually you're going to have to go cold turkey to resolve your addictions. You can also go to a profession, but we all know when it comes to black folks don't like to go professional or seek actual help, mental help, etc., because they want to pray to Jesus and hope they'll wash away, and Jesus is not going to save you. So stop it. But that's all. Let's keep going.
But in her addiction, it was my grandmother who raised me, and my father, thank God, who didn't allow me to be a fatherless girl, and we were best friends.
No.
You're talking about a romantic relationship?
Yes. That relationship
love
where
that.
we're talking about, the question was, were your parents married, right? And they weren't, so that having an impact on
Right.
you, and that's why you strung them shoestrings up tight.
Yep.
But I'm like, have you being who you are and knowing the right things and unpacking and this,
Knowing them now.
knowing them now,
Yes.
have you identified someone
Yes.
that you can touch, that you can call, that you know that is what you want to be? Like, instead of running away from something, you running to
it.
something that you're like, I want that. And who is that for you?
So it is not an individual, no. It's still an ideology. It's still something that I've created in my mind. And so there's not a person that I look at and I say this very humbly, besides myself, because I've done a hell of a job of working through my pain pockets. I've done a hell of a job of getting myself to a place of thriving and no longer surviving. And so that person is me. I look at myself and I say, I want to be you. I look at myself and I say, you know, I love you. I look at myself and I thank that little girl for surviving. And then that little girl looks at that.
Now you gotta understand, if you had to sit a fight and survive, you're not really actually living. And what happens with this constant fight or flight, it causes schisms psychologically, spiritually to any being, especially a woman. We always got to constantly fight for survival, fight for your insanity, all that stuff. It causes problems. This really is the reason why, to turn into this and learn in the field and study the psychology field, because in my opinion, she really wants to have an understanding of herself. And the way you're gonna get that is studying the mind. And to me, that's one of many reasons why she leaned more towards the psychology field. She says she has helped a lot of people in the past, some that are married, not. But to me, and I don't really go to these type of things because I don't have these problems. But let's say I go there and try and look for professional advice psychologically. I rather go to a man than a woman, and here's why. For those that's listening, because a lot of women say modern women have problems. Sorry, they got too many problems. They're on drugs now. Medication drugs for dependency for their mental illness. Hell, they are even having issues where they have not gone for actual professional help themselves to resolve or work in resolving their issues. They still walk around with hurt in their soul and in their minds. And to Miss Dr. Bryant, she's still going through those things, and it's not healthy. Anyway, let's keep going. Fairies.
That woman, and she says, thank you for learning to thrive, because now I'm able to be a little girl and do the things I can do. And I no longer have to protect you as a woman and show up in your relationships, because there's no place for a little girl or a child in adult relationships, not just only romantically, but professionally. And so I would honestly have to say that woman would be me, working through, conditions of love and coming to a place of self-love. Yeah, 100%. I am who I want to be.
Okay,
I'm
so
her.
this is a trigger for me. Because if you've never witnessed it firsthand, a healthy relationship, you find that source in yourself, which
Well, I never said I haven't witnessed a healthy relationship. Is there a person,
Tangible.
you said, tangible source that I look at where I'd want to emanate or be like? No. I've witnessed healthy relationships, yes, and I've been in healthy relationships, yes. But anything that I've witnessed as far as a person that I want to be like or emanate, I don't have that. No.
So it's triggering to hear that, knowing that if things get shaky, rocky, everybody wants somebody so they can run off in the sunset with.
Keyword with.
Yeah.
Right.
But
right.
this is the thing though. And my mom is an angel. And I always love having real conversations with my mom. She's a church-going, God-fearing woman. All she knows is my dad. Aww. And I use her for a source of wisdom, and she used me for a source to stay hip.
Nice.
And she says this about relationships. Everybody wants to find a happy ending.
Right.
And they want to find heaven in a person, right? And run off in the sunset. But the reality is nobody wants to find somebody who's worth going to hell for. That's real love. Because that's understanding that you're not a finished product.
Right.
You're worth finding the best version of you.
Of yourself, yes.
And you running away or not having a person in your life that can assist, help, you go to and say, girl, let me tell you, Tyrone, he doing it again. What do you do like when Tyrone ain't answering his phone and I know he say he at work, but I don't know. I done looked at the other.
And nobody care what she concerned about Tyrone. My biggest concern is even going through this, right? And there are good parts to this video, and there are most watched parts. Keep in mind when you watch these interviews, for those that don't understand, these interviews are supposed to hopefully today, especially on social media or YouTube, are a way where it's gonna not make a lot of people think. It's gonna allow people start questioning, and even go as far as point the finger if done right, where people are gonna, I guess, imitate certain talking points going through these videos. And not to mention that, it could also create some triggers from the opposite sex. And why I say is because this interview was conducted by Cam Newton, and the whole premise of him having Dr. Bryant, because she was on another podcast, Nick Cannon, which you saw me play earlier today. And Nick Cannon, I mean, interview is no different what Cam's doing, but one thing I think with Nick Cannon, I think he asked certain questions to her that made her have to give the answer. And trust me, she's a black woman, so when a black man ask her and question her, she's gonna act the typical black woman, that gynocrat nonsense. All right, let's keep going.
Girl Instagram and they in the same blah blah blah. You know how
I get what you're saying,
detective
yeah.
women can be. Like I need the
Yeah.
FBI need to hire more black women because they gonna figure something out.
Right.
The black woman I know, strong, very curious, detective, go gadget information. They gonna figure that out. But you not having that source in the time of need, not when everything's good. We don't need no more invitations to the wedding or to the anniversary or to the
Right,
party or to
right.
this or to that. We need people who gonna help me when I need help in an unconventional or when the situation is not so much straight and narrow.
Right.
That's why it's triggering to me.
So let me hear you correct. It's triggering to you because what you hear me saying, which sounds like we have a little slight disconnect. What you hear me saying is that I don't have a go-to person when Tyrone, which I don't have a Tyrone, thank God, or something is off kilter in my world that.
She said, thank God. That's a woman that doesn't want to be under no man's leadership. And it tells you why she has the outcome she is today. Let that sink in. Let that sink in.
You hear me saying I don't have a go-to person or a resource that can help me process through that.
Correct.
Okay.
Or I can also add to that, you don't have a healthy ecosystem where I'll give you an example.
No, I got you.
Staying on point is
Go ahead.
quick. So if I take a relationship serious with an individual, it's going to be hard for that individual to understand or to fight for something if her resources are single women,
I agree.
are bachelorettes,
I agree.
are divorcees,
I agree.
are certain situations. And I'm like,
100%.
so they say birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me you're the only good girl out of all these?
And another thing, people give advice from their results. Right. So every day we live on the results of our decisions. And so they're giving you advice on things they have experience in. If it's single, it's experience in being single. If it's married, it's advice from a married woman. So what I'm saying is, yes, I have a strong support system. I have a healthy ecosystem. I have people that I do go to. And the Bible says, do I seek wise counsel? Yes. And I have wise counsel within my world and within my foundation.
So
now,
you have now? Or?
Yes, I have them now. Yes, I have that.
But when I just asked you,
No,
the simple
that's not
question
what you
before-
asked me, or how I received it was, is there anyone who I look to that I'd want to be like or admire? I don't have that. That person would be myself. But as far as
So you don't have no one that you look up to, which I find that to be odd. But you see, I have a strong circle to fall under for little things. And to me, that is somewhat a problem. Because you have this so-called unknown circle, which pretty much is predominantly women, and we could say some beta orbital males. Unfortunately, men I can see why you don't prioritize relationships as old as you are. How much you guys want to bet that this woman is on the cock carousel? Matter of fact, I'm going to do a poll. As I do a poll, and I'm going to let this play, we're going to find which people think and agree with me on this one. So let's keep going. Fairies.
It's a support system. Not only do I have a therapist, not only do I have a pastor, not only do I have a mother, and I have a circle of wealth, which I call friends and support system, who, male and female, single and married, who, that's why I said, some do have healthy relationships and some don't have healthy relationships, but they're all part of my ecosystem. Again, contrast, the person who doesn't have a healthy relationship is also teaching me things on what not to do and things I may not want to do. Folks like your mom, who are extremely wise, who, are still, I'm guessing from what you said, still with your dad.
Right.
She has a different perspective that definitely adds to, me processing through my journey and what that looks like. So I have a very equally yoked circle of resources that help me through whatever I'm going through for the clarity. But do I have somebody who I look to that I want to be like? That person is Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Now, I want to respond to something. You said there's a lot of that black women, and I know it was a joke, but being serious, black women are women, folks would hire to do the detective investigative work. Because they're going to find out anything. They're going to be on social media, Instagram, cell phones, all that. They're going to piece it together. They're going to figure it out. See, that's the dysfunction that I'm talking about is an issue.
Okay.
And that's also when I'm referring to low functioning behaviors. That's a choosing issue. First of all, not that I'm better than any other woman or they're better than me. I'm not choosing a man that I have to become a detective to. Even the men I caught off weddings from, to their defense, just because I caught it off doesn't mean they weren't good men. I'm choosing men who I can be a wife or a woman to. I'm not choosing a man that I can be a detective to. So when women are choosing men, I think that certain things to become aware of are, do I have to go into my detective, which is my trauma? Do I have to go into my investigative, which is my dysfunction? Because if so, that man is triggering and bringing those things up. And he only brings those things up in you because those things are in him. And start trusting your spirit more, ladies. And this is another thing. Women with
Trusting your spirit, you mean trusting your intuition, use your common sense. That sounds good, but most ladies, they skip that once they're attracted to the right dude, particularly the dudes that they're sex attracted to the most. They will let that slide, and they let a lot of things slide, including you, Mrs. Bryan, from your conversations. As the conversations get good, you're going to reveal more about this. All right, let's keep listening. Fairies.
daddy issues are going to be okay with being an investigator and a detective, because oftentimes, remember, they have learned subconsciously how to investigate and detective. Why is daddy not here in the household? So it doesn't make me say, why would they not grow up thinking
That it could be working, baby. And most men, from what I heard from the other brother, that they're not always going to get a chance to see the kids because they're out there working. This big notion, this big myth that men, including black men, they work and go home and may pay bills and that's it, which is somewhat true to an extent, but a good portion of black men are, looking out and moving in course to their best interests, and they're not going to be tied down to, constantly come home just to do extra work if they're out there slaying a dragon doing more than 50 hours a week. Now, what's this? That's a good question. I heard rumor it could be 3 to 4. But one thing I will say this, since you asked that question, doesn't Dr. Bryant give off the Ebony K. Williams vibes? The people that's listening, post it in the chat room. And guys, if you have a serious question, put it in super chat. I'm sure you like it, or Cash App. Scroll down. Let's keep going. Fairies.
The norm is to wonder where you're at, to wonder what you're doing, and to wonder why you're not there, and think that that's okay based on their norm of daddy issues. I have a father who we were very well best of friends, who was extremely involved in my life, a father, a daddy, everything. So I never had to wonder or investigate my father. I never had to wonder or investigate his motives with me. So I don't navigate the world thinking that that's the norm to try to figure out or investigate on social media, through your cell phone, through anything, what your motives are, who you are, what are you doing. That is an unhealthy relationship. That is your trauma and your pain choosing for you. And I would offer that any woman who's in that situation get help. Leaving isn't easy. And to learn how to choose different, learn how to choose better, because you deserve better. And let me go further. The man who you're investigating or you're feeling like you have to do these things with, and you can't just be in a safe space, you can't nest in, he also deserves better. And his getting better is you pivoting and leaving and telling him that he needs to get some help before he can be with a woman who is of your caliber. And when I say your caliber, who's willing to get help for yourself, so you choose different. Daddy issues don't mean you got to be with your daddy. It just means you got to take inventory of what daddy who you didn't have looks like and stop choosing that kind of man. Next question.
No, daddy issues is daddy issues, and good portion of women in America, especially, where they've been around their father or either know their father or generally they've been raised by the father. When the parent is not there or not involved enough, it's going to create issues. It might create dependency. It might create issues, whereas mommy issues or daddy issues. But as an adult, once you reach a certain age, it is your job to go reach back and get your healing or find the right professional to start healing. Because one thing with this Babel, she said, right? I know for a fact that most black men and black women that, will not invest money into, let's say, her sessions, much as any other group of people. Well, actually, I'll say black people. They just don't want to spend money in regards to fix themselves psychologically. And let's keep real. To fix themselves psychologically, that requires actual reflection and things that really you still do and what things you're lacking. That's a real safe self assessment. Sorry. And I don't think most people of a certain age are ready to do self reflection and self assessment. All right, let's keep going. Phase. Oh, and one other thing, I gotta do this, man.
My money.
I told you.
Where is my money?
Benny. Bring me everyone.
I need my money. I need my money.
What do you mean everyone?
All right, let's continue. And make sure it's hit the super chat and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.
Glove still on. Dang. Yeah, man. And I for the sake of my cigar, I mean,
gone.
yeah, it's about to get there. I just want to ask a simple question.
And it's going to be a simple answer.
Hopefully within the time frame of me smoking.
No, it ain't gonna be a simple answer because she constantly is babbling. And when you go on these long tantrums, long rants, you're gonna lose the person that's interviewing you. And I think Dr. Bryant, is aware of this, but she continue because she likes to fool you with big words, but it's not really the same thing. So pay attention to the words she's using and see if you're paying attention to this. I know I try to and I manage. So
In a cigar. Do you want to get married?
Hard yes. Absolutely want to get married.
So
all right, so now you answer the right question. All right, yes, you want to get married. When? What age? See, I'm not sure the old man said this. I know Kevin has told a lot of lovely ladies this for years now while he was still around about what you want, what you look for, and really I don't know if he did ask us, but what age you're looking forward to get married. Now that is more a better suitable question than saying yes. And I think the guy should have followed up with that question as well. But like I say, if you're not interview like Cam Newton or what do you call it, Nick Cannon, it comes off as weird. All right, let's keep going. Various.
My question is, if you've never seen a healthy marriage, how are you able to identify one?
So let me answer again. I didn't grow up in the household where a healthy marriage was something that was present for learned behavior. I am 41 years old. I'm an adult who has done a lot of work. So in today's world with my work and my healing and my old friends who I have now made new friends, I now have, and I do see healthy relationships.
But none that you want to be like, yo,
no, because,
I like what y'all have.
Right.
I want to emulate that.
No, and it's not because what they have isn't healthy. It's because I have a strong sense of self. And I'm not knocking people who look to other people and say, I would like that, or I get what you're saying. There's nothing wrong with that. But I have a strong sense of self, and I don't want what someone else has. I want what is aligned in God's will for me is. And so I have a strong understanding that what's for me ain't gonna look like your healthy relationship. And if I get caught up in, I want that, or I want it to mirror that, then I may be looking and meeting my husband saying, you don't fit this box, which is called compartmentalizing. And my husband, who's God sending to me after all my work, doesn't need to fit a box. He needs to come authentically who he is. And my job is to love him where he is, how he is, and pray on the ways that I don't understand, because I'm not supposed to lean onto my own understanding. I'm supposed to trust God in all his ways. And when doing that means I'm not looking for anything externally to idolize. When I have myself in God and I know that who my husband is, I will feel it. I don't have to see it in someone else's world. And the other thing is we got to be careful with wanting what somebody else has from the optics, because it could look like we want this beautiful mansion and we go in that house, excuse my language, that motherfucker's more homeless than people who sleep on the street. Because just because you got 4 walls and you have a marble floors and you have a gated home and you have a 10,000 or 20,000 square foot home doesn't mean that thing ain't more homeless than the person who's in a high-rise apartment, or a person who's in a single apartment living in downtown LA and they're a student who's poor, okay? That has nothing to do with it. So I'd rather have a little apartment with my husband and baby, we got wealth, than be in a big mansion like a lot of people have done and be homeless in that thing. And I'm sitting here creating this image for my people to admire me, but I'm dying in the inside. When you talk about resources and people, I don't want no friends around me who can see me as a mansion, but let me die as a homeless person internally. I'm good. And nor do I want to be the woman who says, I want what Cam and this woman has, not knowing that when this woman goes wherever she going, she's really speaking the real about what y'all got going, but she not gonna tell me, because she wants me to keep feeding her trauma, which is that mask and that costume she's wearing, to make people think that relationship is good. I'll pass. I'll take what God has for me, and I will continue to pray for those who I see have a healthy relationship and support them. But I don't want nothing nobody has, because it's not mine. And if it ain't yours, y'all, you can't keep it. You can't sustain it. So stop wanting things that ain't yours. Stop wanting things that don't belong to you. That's called despair. Get you some help. Get you some healing, get you a sense of self, and start wanting things that are yours. And then you may not end up with a man who's beating your ass because you thought he was putting her on jets and buying her Birkin bags and taking her to nice restaurants when she was going home getting her ass beat. But you wanted it though, right? Be careful what you ask for. Start asking God, reveal to me what I'm saying I want, so I understand the transparency of it. God, reveal to me what's mine, so I can have that. And I don't end up praying to you to get out of it. And I don't rush to the altar just to become a divorcee or a baby mama or a baby daddy. We don't want what nobody else has. We want what's ours, because that is good enough. I caught that pick.
You caught the pig. Just because you talking loud,
I wasn't loud.
Just because your voice is inflected.
I wasn't loud.
Just because you're leaning forward to your camera.
I wasn't loud.
Doesn't mean you just caught a pig.
I'm talking to my people. I'm talking to my people who
All
want
I'm
to get
trying
it right.
to say is you took something completely out of context when I said your resources around you that you said.
Yes. We cleared that up though.
Yeah, but the resources that you have around you of healthy relationships
They are.
Not that you want that. You said, you took what I said, and yeah, I said, I want that, but it's not, I want
No,
what they have.
I don't.
It's more of an admiration for what they have.
No.
And it's like, yo, like I admire that about their relationship.
There you go. Now, hold on. That's no, because the latter part, I have single girlfriends I admire how they are as women. I have married girlfriends who I do admire their relationship, meaning I love that it's healthy for you. I love that you and him
Yeah, but
are
you're talking
doing
about
this.
mansions and
But-
beating and
but
all that.
Cam,
I ain't mentioned none of
hold
that.
on,
I just said,
Cam, if it went over your dreadlocks, bring it back.
yeah,
Let's
but
stay
you're
here.
talking about you catching pics, but you just over here just, you on a TV timeout.
Cam, we're not on the football field. Let's bring it back here.
Yeah,
I
but you
took it
used
to the
that
football
analogy.
field. I'm sorry. We're back here. I brought it back, baby. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
it's okay. It's okay.
I'm not fleeing. I'm here.
Say less.
I'm here. Yeah.
So all I was saying is you saying that that's what I like is more of a wordplay to saying I admire what they have and I want to implement that into my relationship as well. Single people can't coach relationship people. And I think that is what happens too often. So when I'm asking questions about resources, when I'm asking questions about you, hard yes for a
Yeah,
married
of
man,
course, yeah.
I'm saying I'm triggered when I hear that as a man.
Yeah.
When I ask you, do you have healthy marriages that you've seen, witnessed,
Yes.
been a
And I
part
have,
of,
yes.
or admired? And you clearly said no.
And I clearly said,
I'm sorry, guys. I'm not sure if I those out. I apologize. You guys there? Yeah. Oof, this is long. Let me see how we doing likes. I did not know. There's so much like. Hold on. Let me check what's going on here. I know that's not like doing these things so late. Look like we did all right. All right, let's keep going.
yes. But my admiration doesn't go as far as, in your exact words, I would want that. No, I don't want anything that somebody else is. I want to help them have more of the good stuff.
Okay.
Okay? But in the sense of,
And what's the good stuff you're trying to add more to a man's life that if he already got, but it's almost fulfilling? It's a question, good Dr. Bryant. It's a question that you should be asking. Anyway. Hey. All right, let's keep going.
again, people who are doing well, married or not. But I want to go back to what you said is triggering to you, because I love that you said that. And a lot of people think that, and it's not wrong. I get it. A single woman or even a woman with no kids, how can she coach or therapy a woman who is a mother? Or a single woman, how can she coach or therapy or help or be a psychologist with people who are having marital
But
issues?
you're single.
I'm single.
Okay.
Yes, I'm single. And so I love what you're saying, because I don't know what other therapists, psychologists, or coaches do, but I don't coach married couples. Stick with me. People come to me who are married. I'm helping each of them process their own stuff, because
Is it all women or these are all men? Because you said couples. That could vary. You're saying both man and woman come to your office and want some counseling? Let's keep going. Fair use, fair use.
what a marriage is, and your mama will know it because she's a church woman, and from what she said beyond
39
wise,
years
right?
of marriage.
And even what she said about marriage, everybody want to go to heaven, but there's a lot of hell in it, and love that she said that. Marriage, like the Bible says, is cleaving. Cleaving does this. Cleaving does this. Cleaving doesn't do this. And so when people come to me married, they're doing similar to Mama's statement. They're coming to me like this. And so I'm not counseling married couples. I'm counseling individuals who are coming with so many issues within themselves that they married on paper, but they ain't never even had a chance to be married mentally, emotionally, spiritually, sexually, intellectually, in any way. But what happens is, as I help them as individuals process through their traumas and their pain and their intergenerational issues, they magically either usually cleave or, not many, but some, depart. Because you cannot cleave without shedding. And the shedding that cleaving takes is the shedding of your stuff, your ego, your emotions, your trauma, your pain pockets. And when you shed of that, the cleaving was already waiting there for you. So it's not that anyone, even other therapists, are teaching married people how to cleave or be married. They're really breaking down the barriers that people have that are keeping them from being loving or in love, or like Mom said, keeping them from going not only to heaven, but sometimes taking that detour to hell just to get to heaven again, just to get back to hell, to get back to heaven. Yeah. And so I don't teach them how to be married because I don't think that's something that can be taught. I think that comes through each individual marriage couple, because there's not one way to do it. I'm helping them break down the barriers that are keeping them from what they really want, which is to be safe, to be in love, to go to this heaven space, but to learn how to have the bandwidth to get through the journey of hell that comes as well.
Yeah, I must ask this question because I'm a product of this.
Yeah.
Has your profession affected your outlook on a relationship?
100%.
How?
My husband will be very, very grateful to all of my clients these past 16, 17 years because my female clients have helped shape me to have more compassion. It has helped shape me to have better understanding of the pressures and the seasons that come in motherhood, that come in marriage. And my male clients, particularly my Black male clients, the married ones, have really gave me insight on the weight that comes with being a husband, being a father, how much they really are giving their all and trying their best, but it looks.
Sorry about that, guys. I had to take that. My question to y'all guys: do you think or believe that the good doctor will make a good wife to a man, let's say, that's maybe 5 or 10 years older than her, or roughly maybe 15 years older than her? Is my question. And I'm looking at this question. This might hurt a few sensitive ears. No matter the degree and supposed knowledge, women are still women. As a man, I stopped giving too much weight to woo women that think, say, or want life has been better. Yeah, man, I wouldn't give much energy either. And really, truly, they're in the bubble in their own selves, because not only some women, after they reach certain caliber, let's say, I guess, because she says she makes over 6 figures, which I agree, because she helped develop certain shows and stuff. So she's in the entertainment lifeline, not more of the therapy, psychological lifeline. She's more into the entertainment field, like Ebony K. Williams. These are women that once they're in the media light and seeing, let's say, more than 6 figures, the chances are of them really pair bonding and being on any man of any level is very less, because in their mind, they are the dominant in this relationship. Celebrities are not true, are not the role models. No celebrity is. And a lot of Black people get fooled constantly because they see them on television that they should be the representation of not only all of the Black folks, but there should be the role models of our children. And that's a no-no. I don't accept that. And no parent should be comfortable feeling so relaxed that your child gives more time and energy to what a person they see on television say about how to move in life. I'm not with that. I don't agree with that. All right, let's keep going.
It's different to her. And so learning how to read and communicate, Cam, what does it mean when you text me randomly throughout the day and just say, what are you doing? Is that a message Does that, what are you doing? Is that a message where you're just trying to tell me, baby, I love you, but you didn't say the words? So if I know that what are you doing means I love you, as your wife, the Bible says, love you by knowledge of you, not understanding, knowledge. I now know how to code that. So that helps me not personalize, but you ain't doing it my way. But you didn't say, I love you. And you saying, but baby, I say what you're doing, and that means I love you. So my clients have helped me dissipate my ego. And they have helped me not only gain a sense of self, but understand the different languages that men can speak. Also, it's allowed me to have more compassion and break my fairy tale ideology that women have. I always say this: men get married and become a father and go, oh, shoot, okay, I didn't know it was gonna take all of this. Game time. Let me try to figure this out. Let me try to see if I can do this and do that and get the card and do this and love her more and balance all this. Women, we meet you and we're like, our idea and our fairy tale is you are Prince Charming, honey. And then we try to get you to fit Prince Charming. And the more you don't fit it, the more y'all end up in my office going, but he doesn't do this. Well, has he ever did it? No, but I always just thought my husband would. Your husband or this man? So are you getting to know who you with? Or are you making this man fit this fairy tale ideology that doesn't even exist anyways? And so women come and lead with fit this, or you have no value. Men come in and go, all right, I'm here and I'm gonna learn how to be the best I can for you. And then women do what? You're taking too long. You're not getting there because you haven't fit the box of the fairy tale. So for me, it's helped me break down what all of my clients know. Y'all know I call it the fairy tale ideology. And I'm not exaggerating, Can. I want to say 100%, but I'm going to go 99.9% of women who come in my office, I'm having to work on breaking their fairy tale ideology of their husband. And hold on, let me say this. To his defense, they almost always have an amazing husband. But because his amazingness doesn't fit her idea of amazing, guess what? He ain't shit to her. And remember, have no emotional investment besides I really want them to get this, work through this. I'm going, so because he don't fit your tone of red, you gonna tell me this man still ain't red?
He burgundy though.
You see what I'm saying?
You know, he there.
You know, it's funny. It's very funny. I think when they made the laws for no fault divorce, it lets people just, end any relationship or question it. And when we look at why would you end your marriage, these are small, stupid reasons to end your marriage. Every man's doing what he's supposed to do, and then you having that comfort in the household that it makes you question not only you should stay in, but you'll find every excuse to walk off it. That tells me that's a you problem. You need to resolve the issues. Why I feel like I need to be ending not only your marriage, but why do I have this feeling of incompleteness? And it goes back to show that a lot of women got too much time on their hands and not being very productive in not only their purpose, but really tapping into their actual femininity. And I don't use that word loosely, but they're not doing things that are feminine enough to keep their minds and bodies and their spirit occupied. Because you should not be always centered constantly on something of what your man is not giving you or lacking for you to stay around. That tells me you don't have no sense of actual productivity and purpose within yourself to keep yourself, occupied enough to move further in your marriage enough where this should not be an issue. And it comes to show that when these things, and really truly, I feel sorry for a lot of men that today that wants to get married in the society, because if you do what's in your right power, it might not be enough. You might lose your woman for less, regardless of your status. It tells you this lie about the demonization of marriage and why things end the way it does. No, it ends because you end it, bitch. Only time I want to hear about why marriage has to be end, it has to be very serious. And really, to be honest with you, I'd rather see if there's like physical harm where death might come into it. Personally, now, I'm not gonna be so moved because a man, let's say, explores options and have a side chick or whatever. I'm not gonna really say that's as a justification to end the marriage. Now, I think it has to be something more drastic now, in my opinion, because these things when I hear that you're not comfortable about some things with your husband, and let's be honest, I know that the dude, another dude said that most modern average men are boring. I get it, but let's be honest, men are gonna be men. Men keep things simple. There are very few exceptions men that will be interesting, and there's some men that's not. It's the way of how nature goes. If every man moved the way that's has to be pleasing to give, let's say, women what they really want, a lot of them will still find some excuse or still keep moving the goalposts. Because in their mind, they're trying to fight and look for that perfect carrot or that perfection. And there's no such thing. There is no perfection anywhere in existence. Let's keep that in mind. Another BS married women are highly enlightened in some mystical way. These are the ones that are now trying to call men. Yeah, the narcissist is a buzz term. Don't pay attention to that garbage. Let's keep going. Phrase.
Two things that I really want to ask or must ask in this situation. First, in regards to the women, I don't really want to attack or really speak on your clientele, but obviously with my research, you spoke about low functioning individuals, male and female. What's the percentage of males or females that you counsel that are low functioning? What's that percentage?
Love it. Collectively, or you want me to go male and female?
Break it down from male and female.
Okay. I would say, interesting enough, I would say that there are 70% low functioning women, 40% low functioning men.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, with those low functioning men, did they ever say that a man of high function will never really know true love?
No, I don't even believe that, but no.
Okay. So what identifies a woman to be high functioning?
A high functioning woman is a woman who wants you. She doesn't need you. And let me clear that up. When I say she doesn't need you, it doesn't mean she's independent. That means she is interdependent. I only not need you because my pain doesn't need your pain. My dysfunction doesn't need your dysfunction to feed it for us to be in this relationship, meaning I don't need a trauma bond with you, okay? She wants you because she wants the healed part of you, but has the capacity, because we're all human, we ain't perfect, to facilitate and deal with the unhealed part of you that's gonna show up in the relationship at some point. And hers is gonna show up too, mine is gonna show up too. And so that's why I always say, I want a hybrid. I want a hybrid for y'all out there who wanna know, meaning a man who's high functioning enough to meet my healthy high functioning, but low functioning enough to deal with me when my abandonment inflames, to deal with me when some of my dysfunctions that I'm still working on inflame. Because if he's too high functioning, guess what? He doesn't have the bandwidth to deal with the low functioning part, which then means he can only connect with folks who are not being fully authentic within themselves. Meaning you may have a loving relationship but you won't have a real intimate, deep, vulnerable relationship. I'm a woman who seeks connection and vulnerability. I'm not into casualties or casual sex, just TMI or not, meaning I like the depth of things. And so I need you to see me. I need you to see my broken. I want you to see my heart, whatever that comes with. And I'm not embarrassed about it. I'll tell you about it. I'll show it to you. And I'm okay with a man who can facilitate it. But what a high functioning man may do is if he's all the way high functioning, he has already cut off the side of him that is authentic, and there's a superficialness there that won't allow him to connect with a real person. So can he still love and experience love? Yeah, love has it just loves everything. But will he experience the depth of some of the wholeness of love, meaning the down, the up, the ugly, the heaven, the hell mom was talking about? No. And let me say this really quick, and this is why.
Do you think sometimes she'd be long-winded, guys, when you hear her in a response? Because usually women use a lot of words than men. And I can see why they love to talk. And when they talk to, to any man, we as men, we want to keep it simple and get to the point. We don't want this long rambling babble. That's when you see us, man. We don't be babbling too long when regards answering or articulating the question that's asked. If y'all didn't know, so keep that in mind. Right now, this is like a constant babble rant. Very serious.
Trauma bonds usually feel like the most intense, in love, deepest relationships because you got two at the epitome of vulnerability, pain pocket people who are bonding. And most people who are low functioning are exactly who they are. Exactly who they are. Doesn't make it bad for being who they are. Exactly who they are. That's their pain, their trauma. They gonna flee, they gonna scream, they gonna hit, they gonna do whatever comes up. Right? Fuck it, I'm mad. And whatever comes up, they there. There's no awareness, there's no stop, there's no nothing. I'm triggered, I'm inflamed, we just go there, let's tear this thing up. Right? High functioning only means, Cam, that I feel them same feels. I still feel, see my language, you got me fucked up. I'm ready to go there. I'm flamed, I'm triggered. It's all there, right? But it's still dormant. It's still in me. And high functioning means I can regulate those emotions. Watch this and say, okay, right now I'm ready to rip this man's head off. Right now he got me all the way fucked up. Okay, so how do I relay that message to him where it's gonna be respectful, it's gonna be non-combative, and I'm gonna disarm him? While he still knows, you got me fucked up. Because I don't have to say those words for you to know, I think I went too far with Doc. And you still feel respected and loved so that I just disarmed you and we can still have an engaging, emotionally intelligent conversation that ends in resolve, whether resolve means win-win, because resolve is really win-win, or one person wins or none and we agree to disagree and we can still go to the cigar lounge and have a drink and you have your cigar. But
what would be the disagreement that you had to really play out where you're going to emphasize your frustration to your opposite mate while being disrespectful? I'll tell you how you do it. You say nothing. You stay silent. That's the best tool, best weapon. Your silence will prove otherwise. As much times women don't want to hear that, your silence should prove enough of a statement. Especially feel that what he has done was off wall, off the chain, and very inappropriate. That you find that was very disrespectful. To sit there, nag, and express it, it's not going to register to certain men. Now, if a man is of a certain value that is, well established, older, and has no righty, it might not move him. And he is a man that's going to demand certain things and really prefer you to sit down and be quiet and play a role. And you have to really present to him in a very different way. And it better be a very smooth and sweet way when a man of a certain status. Now, regular dudes, the ones that are, let's be on below average men, yeah, you're going to have to probably express it to him, and he's going to have to, do something different. If not, you know what you ladies, so you just move on with certain caliber of men. Let me see what the guy wrote. Let's see. A phase I heard about certain reinforcing self. Men fall in love, women make deals, it adds to it. Women makes deals with extremely poor business sense. Yeah, I agree. All right, let's keep going.
Low functioning people going to tear this thing up with no emotional regulation. They're also going to choose a person who does it with them and allows them to do it. Because I only can do to you what you allow me to do. Because if I start cutting up in here and you say, Doc, we love you, love to have you here, but you got to go and you're not welcome back. Because no pun intended, that's not our culture here. Guess what? I can't do that again. And that's not called fleeing. You emotionally, intelligently said, Doc, love you here. You're a great guest, but that's not our culture. We don't do that here. Now I have a choice to make. Do I want to be in a relationship with Cam? Do I want to be welcome back here? Self-inventory. You just did me the best favor you could have ever did. By excusing me, you blessed me. Because now I got to look at myself and say, what needs to be done for me to fit in this? Now let's flip it. I'm with a dude who's turned up. He's a womanizer. He got all these women. He spend money on me. He treat me good. And what you said earlier, he D's me down. You didn't say you would D me down, but use the D word, clarity. He D's me down. And so I come in and I tell him, no, I'm not a woman. I'm like wholesome. I'm not into casual sex. I don't do all that, but I'm in love with him. And he lets me know, check this out, baby. Daddy love you. There's a place for you here, but not like that. You got to be able to do these things. Check back in when you can. That woman has a choice to make too. She goes and takes self-inventory and says, do I want to do these things so I can fit in with daddy? Or do I want to stay true to who I am? Either way, it's a choice. But high-functioning people have the ability to take a step back internally, not physically, process what they feel, hear their emotions in the real space that they're saying, because my emotions curse people out and things all day. But I regulate it, code switch it, deliver the message so you're receptive to it and you feel it with love, but I'm saying the same damn thing I was saying in here. And now we have a relationship. Now we have respect. And now we good. And now, like your mama said, because I love that quote, tell her that, please, I love that. We can go to heaven together and we can take this journey to hell as well.
But no, are you willing to go to
No,
hell?
I just said both.
Yeah.
Both.
So, I don't think my question was clear, or the answer wasn't clear as far as a high functioning woman
Yeah.
and
It's simple. High functioning woman feels the same thing a low functioning woman feels. She does two things differently. High functioning woman can regulate her emotions to articulate it so it comes out with emotional intelligence.
Okay.
And she uses what she feels, and chooses with her healthy self and not her dysfunctional self.
Okay.
That's the only difference.
Now, explain to me what a high functioning man is.
A high functioning man, identical to a woman. He can feel what he feels, he regulates his emotions, and he chooses how he's going to deliver that message so that woman receives it and she's not armed and now we're at war. That's what a high functioning man does. And he's also able to sit through.
And one thing with this term, high functioning, low functioning, all this nonsense, all worse, like I tell you before. Hello, Positive Vibe. Yeah, man. When people listen to these conversations, they're gonna really start having their eyebrows raised, have question marks circling or swirling around their heads, because they're saying, wait, you're dysfunctioning, now dysfunctioning. You know, it's funny how we black, we very creative with words. Now that I think about it, in regards how we want to justify, regulate, or express bullshit person. I mean, I come up with some words too, but they gotta make sense at least, and some not funny. This guy writes, I used to be the other way around, way other way around. But as we know in society, feminism, other factors have set in place the way, the states. Yep. All right, let's keep going.
Hard, challenging conversations without fleeing or abandoning that woman, and using his emotional intelligence that says, I hear you and I understand you, but baby, I don't agree with that one part.
There's a lot of things that I don't agree with.
I don't agree with that.
In this
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
Going back to what I said, with that 40% of men who are high functioning that you counsel, what I said was, most men understand this. We don't really find true love because it's what can you do for me? Because a man's job is to provide. Now, this is where most high vibrational man, high functioning man go through. As far as being emotionally intelligent, that still does not qualify you as being high vibrational. The thing that is often said on two counterparts, two species, from a woman, it's about self-worth, how I feel. I'm not gonna allow you to treat me like this. I'm not gonna allow you to talk to me like this. I know my non-negotiables. I know my worth. Fine. Are all qualifying things for any woman to say to herself or to the universe, I'm high vibrational. Now, the thing for me is that doesn't qualify for men, because you can have all the emotional intelligence, all the trigger points to be able to communicate. But if you stand at your mama house, all that's out the door. You understand what I'm saying? So society dictates what a man's value is, respectfully, and it's shameful to say it that way, but that's the surface level identifier of a high vibrational man, amongst other things. Now, these things are what women always say, oh, well, I'm not doing this, or yeah, this, that, and the third, and that's fine. But different rules for different species.
Like, that's fine.
So
Right.
that's where I'm saying to you, it's like, okay, for that 40% or that 70% of high vibrational women, it's a little bit, the rules are a little different for men. And you can't say it's not, because it actually is. All that, he's fit, girl, I mean, everything. I mean, this, that, and the third. But Dr. Bryant ain't gonna talk to no guy that can't, number one, protect her physically, emotionally, and gives her the stability to live her life as she see fit. And
My good brother Cam, I would agree with you, but I had to be honest with you. That is false. That is false. Women like her or a certain status will deal with a man that's what they consider or what she consider low vibration, all this nonsense, this, and still get her booty pound out and her, get her back blown out, and still would feel comfortable with that. She doesn't require a man, unfortunately, to be, providing in that way, and maybe protection, maybe if it's good, but she doesn't seek that because in her mind she's in control. Keep that in mind. That's one thing that Cam has not realized.
that's where the high vibrational man steps in, and we don't need that from a high vibrational woman. So that's my caveat.
Okay, got it. You made a lot of really good points. So a man living in his mama house means he's low value, but can still be high functioning. High functioning and high value man are two different things. High valued man is more about value. What are you offering financially? What can you do for me? How can you provide for me? It has nothing to do with emotions. This is why you have a lot of high valued women and men who are extremely low functioning. it is statistically known that high valued women, not functioning, high value women, meaning powerhouse, makes money, elected official, doctor, lawyer, entrepreneur, whatever she does, she's just killing it. She does well. Educated, not educated, she just does her thing financially. She's high valued. Often end up with low functioning men.
Why?
And it's because she
Yeah, that's the question asked. Why, if she is so-called educated, and gentlemen, be very careful when these women talking about say they're educated. You go to 4 years of school, and maybe 6 if you get your master's, does not really represent that you are educated. You see, we gotta really redefine this form of education. I'm sorry, we gotta go there. There are many people that either gone to school, finish, or did not finish, quote unquote, label themselves as educated. So can we stop this? That word right now, and I know why a lot of black men use that stupid fucking word, because they feel in their mind, because they get 9 tenths of the time a useless degree. And I'm gonna be personally honest, because she's a doctor and she has psychological degree, a psych degree, it might be worth something. I mean something. But let's be honest. If you were not a celebrity, unfortunately, a celebrity psychologist in the area of Hollywood, California, or any part where people are making, money like that in the entertainment business, where you're more your skills honed in, you'd be as a regular woman with a job or profession. Compared to other men of the world that really shape and shift and make use of the world that shapes the world we live in today. All right, let me look at the comment section. Hold on, guys. Educating is another black woman buzzword. They're parents. Yeah, oh yeah, they're big parents. And I see you right. One person writes, she looks for a hood hero. Yeah, she is looking for some type of hero. And the commercial how she never done that. Okay. All right, let me keep going. Farious.
She has high value. She doesn't have high function. Law of attraction, can we attract who we are despite of who we think we are? So the man living in his mama's house that you described, right? Mm-hmm. That's based on society. That's a low value man.
Reality, not
That's
society.
fine. You can say reality.
Reality.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Right.
Value is not a functioning. High functioning is how you function. Had nothing to do with money or where you live or how you drive.
Right.
Okay. Value is the word value because it's it's what you said. How valuable are you? Mm-hmm. How valuable are you, sis? What you bringing to the table?
Okay, now.
Those are two different things.
I just want to stop you right there before I lose my. If the man doesn't have high value,
yes,
he will not spark the interest of no woman. Let's just put it like that. So it runs.
Then answer this question.
In conjuncture.
Why are most low value? And low value man just means, I'll go street terms, broke.
Yes.
Okay? They're married. Them Negroes are married.
But you can't
hold
say
on.
that's a subjective thing.
No, that's not.
That's most because that's not true.
Statistically, when it comes to socioeconomics, Google it, have somebody here on your team pull it up. Socioeconomically, women, Google it, predominantly black women, socioeconomically, are exceeding when it comes to money, street term, bread. Hold on. That means if they marry, they're married to a man who's making less money, no money, or broke money. Hold on.
See, and you ever notice Canada never did challenge that, gentlemen? They go by the Google and say, but when we look at numbers and we look at other consequences that showing and revealing if this was factual, we come and the end result is they are not really making more than men, especially black men. And the men that do make more than them, they don't even see these women because most of these women don't make good mates, not partners, mates for their program. And that's just the honest fact. And this is the conversation we don't have. We rarely have. We rarely have this conversation. And for the men that very much to her thinking is low par, low standard, and all that nonsense, is because you train majority of your boys to be low par, low vibrant, and subpar. Though, let me get started about the school system. How you prepare your own sons for failure to the point that you malnourish your sons. Really, truly, if it's that bad, you should not be wasting time looking at black men. But you do mess with black men because you have nowhere to go. That's the honest truth. You know why I never accept that notion? Because I think, and I know, if the man is subpar, how they got there? 'Cause every time when I see these young black boys today with their mothers, whether the fathers involved or not, they're not doing what's necessary to help empower their own goddamn boys. And if they do, they try to steer them to stay within, deal with black women, even knowing that the black women that he's going to deal with are very subpar emotionally, spiritually, and all other areas. And that's the honest truth. Let's keep going. Fair use.
Now, low valued men are married to somebody, whether she low, high, whatever. He got him a wife. And let me go a little further. And usually, if you don't have a wife, he got a whole hell lot of kids by different women.
Watch out now. Watch out. You're speeding.
Yeah, I am.
You're speeding.
I'm poking
We
speed.
going there. Hold on. Let me take this.
So let me finish.
Let me take this glove off.
Let me finish this point. So again, low valued men, meaning street term broke, they're married. And they oftentimes, if not more than often, have multiple kids by multiple men.
And one thing for those men that listen to this, and y'all guys not really catching the game here. Miss Bryant will look at you if you're a married woman, right? If you're a married woman, and you're married to a black man, in her assessment, you're low value, low priority because she look at you as you're broke. She don't know what your profession are. She probably will focus on what the woman that comes in front of her, either office, etc., might have greater value than you as a man. Let that sink in, gentlemen. Let that sink in. That's very disturbing, very scary. Let's continue. Fair use.
A
Okay.
woman. Whoa.
No. I'm going somewhere.
Low. You said
By
low.
oh no, I'm going somewhere with that. They have multiple kids by multiple men. Hold on. And women. We in a whole different society. You talking about reality.
No. You said low vibrational men are married with multiple.
Let me say it again. They're married, and if they're not, they usually have multiple kids
Okay.
with multiple women. Okay. Hold on. And I'm going somewhere with this. Have multiple men. Meaning that men and women are choosing low-valued men. That's subjective. Because in the society we live in today, you have a lot of different dynamics of polyamorous, different dynamics of relationships. And when you're talking about men today and women, I'm not just knocking on the men, relationships don't just go one way. And we're talking about a low-valued man. We're not just talking about heterosexual men, right? I could talk about the whole gamut. Do I have to stay in one pocket? I'm just asking because I
No,
will.
ma'am.
Okay.
Take it there.
So again, low-valued men don't have to be, they could be high functioning and low value is what I'm saying. So a man living in his mama's house is low value, but he could be high functioning. Hold on. So how does he attract a woman who's high functioning?
Thank you.
He's high functioning. He attracts a high functioning woman. Hold on. The high functioning woman is also high value, meaning she has money, a lifestyle, and a high quality of life. And she's high functioning. All she needs is a high functioning man. She ain't worried about a man who also has high value. A lot of women operate like that who are powerful. I'm sure you've been in rooms with powerful women who have husbands.
Yeah, she lives a very small, narrow existence. I'm starting to get why this is so somewhat triggering, and I see why a lot of ladies were accepted to this, because she's talking about like the majority of black women in America are at top levels, and the answer and the real honest truth, they're not. They're not. That's like me saying there's a whole lot top low men. Hold on. Yeah, hold on, guys. I'm gonna keep playing.
Who you have said, if not you, many have said, how did he get her? Wait a minute. And it's not even a looks thing. It's down to, oh, I'm gonna go with a really good friend of mine's, Oprah and Stedman. Mama, oh, you know I love you. But Oprah's power. You think Stedman's low functioning or low value? Stedman is low value. He ain't low functioning, baby. There's a difference. He's low value based on, I'll use your word, reality, because regardless if he makes good money, he ain't making Oprah money.
Nobody's making Oprah money.
So he's low valued compared to that. But Stedman is not low functioning. Oprah's.
You know, I rather know, and this is why these dudes should be asking, question these stupid women when they hear and have these conversations with men of a certain caliber. Nor I shouldn't say Cam is like caliber, because I can't use athletes and certain entertainers as, you know, the representation of black excellence, unfortunately, or the elite of black people, because black people are in other industries, but we're not in it in a lot of mass. Because let's be honest, when they put the image of who or what is success and rags riches, you're going to see they push sports players, entertainers, and actors, and that is not representative of success in the black community as a whole. But better, I would say this: Cam should ask her, so what is a highly successful, high value man, black man, that you know of? That's a question he should ask her, because it seems like she's been around a lot of women that makes money. I'm just saying. Anyhow, let's keep going.
Stedman is not low value either. Everybody's low value compared to Mama O. Let's just say that.
So, right. So.
No, there's nobody low value to Oprah Winfrey. Let's stop that. Let's get that out the mess. I don't look at Oprah as anything super high importance than any other person. For every Oprah, there's some black man that's more value and has more than Oprah. And that's the honest truth. A lot of people don't want to know. And if you want to fight that, you could Google that, which we're not going to do anyway. The ones that are billionaires that they don't talk about personally. For those that don't know. Fair use.
Stedman, and it's subjective again. Stedman, in his relationship, we can't say marriage, in his relationship, is low value to his powerhouse, high value, high functioning
But that's not a good
woman.
example, though.
That is a great example.
That's not, because anybody's going to be low value to
Cam, who
Oprah.
house do they live in?
Oprah's.
Okay, where's Stedman's house?
I have no idea.
That's my point. That is my point.
Can you give me another example?
That is my point.
No, let's not use that one, because that's not a reality.
Another
like
example.
Oprah is living in the half percent of the world.
And this is why there's a lot of disrespect in this conversation. So you tell me Stedman can't buy his own house if he chooses to? I'm confused here. For those that's listening, matter of fact, I'm opening the chat room. I'm gonna put a link to the chat room because I'm listening to this and I want to hear from the people. 1 second, guys. If y'all guys want to come up, y'all can come up. I would like to hear from y'all. Yeah, because I'm finding this very ironic and very disrespectful. And I don't like to talk about other people's relationship because Oprah is not married, regardless if she chooses to or not. And I doubt Stedman's going to marry her. The point is, she has no kids. She's living unfortunate independent woman that has a lot of money. Just like Cheyenne Bryant, same for Ebony King Williams, And the others, even we could say even what's her name? What's her chick name? That's 6 years old and she's trying now to settle down. Vivica, yeah. They're trying to live and present like they are the all-seeing and all-power group of women and all black men, including ones that's in the same field or even better beneath them. That is the message that is being portrayed, unfortunately, in this stream. And I think Cam's not really asking crucial questions and pushing back, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but I don't think he's doing a good job in that area. He's having some conversation, but you're not really having the conversation because there's no real actual pushback. All right, let's keep going. And what's good, Tevin? She herself is not married, by the way. Yeah, she's not married either. I know.
Not just the 1%, less than the 1%. Because
That's fine.
anybody, myself included, if we were to date a woman of Oprah's magnitude, it's never going to be enough. I'm going to be on her jet. I'm going to be on her yacht. I'm going to be at her functions. I would be a fucking fool
But that's
to
not-
think.
So that's not always the case. You look at Jay-Z and you look at Beyonce. Jay can be on B's lot, B can be on Jay's lot. So my whole point to drive this point is that low value or high value, low function, high function, two different things, or two different identities. Low value has to do with money and quality of life, fiduciary. Functioning has to do with how do you function innately, emotionally, psychologically as a human being. And so if you have billions of dollars, Donald Trump is low functioning. He just happens to be high value in the sense of his wealth, but he's extreme.
Now, I don't defend white people, much less the white man, personally. And I don't think a lot of us should be. But we're going to go there. Donald Trump is Donald Trump. How he goes about as a man and how he made his money throughout the time through he was brought into similar wealth because his father was somewhat of a high value in his own way during the time. And I don't know if his father was an immigrant here in America, but I can't go into detail about that. But to say that he's low function, but he's high value, are you saying Mr. Charlie, Donald Trump, is low function because he tells women that he grabs women by the pussy? Or he runs his mouth? This is why I could tell right there there's a certain disconnect with Miss Bryant. And this is why the title of the subject speaks for itself. Do Dr. Bryant love or hate black men? Is a very crucial and honest question that needs to be answered. And I hope y'all guys would answer this question in the chat room. Let's keep going.
Extremely low functioning.
That's
But
subjective.
that's fine. No, and I'm not for or against him. I'm not for or against Trump. I'm just using someone, and again, we're having a conversation, so everything's going to be subjective. So I'm speaking about the difference so that we can clear it up. Just because a woman is high functioning doesn't mean she's successful financially or career-wise. Just because a man is high functioning doesn't mean that either. Just because someone is high valued doesn't mean that they have a certain level of functioning. You have a lot of people that do good in the boardroom, high IQ, high functioning interpersonal relationships, but cannot function at home in their marriage. And so those two are not relevant to each other, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you another thing that's not relevant to each other. A high value woman will never acknowledge a low value man. So Oprah.
Well, let me say this.
Hold on.
Cam, you're a man.
Hold on.
You can't
I'm
speak from a woman's
I'm
perspective.
speaking on reality.
High valued women
Okay.
acknowledge, notice, sleep with, and date low value men all the time. One, I'm in room with them, with high valued women. Two, I am a high valued woman. And I have at some point dated a man who is low value, meaning he wasn't living with his mama, but his income, socioeconomic status wasn't anywhere where somebody would go, Doc, really? He didn't have a title up to the caliber of mine. He wasn't in rooms and boardrooms. He wasn't sitting there with Congress, elected officials, and making moves and making legislation and resolutions like myself. And so at that time, I was a woman who was high valued, okay, and high functioning, who was dating a man who was high functioning but low value, but didn't live with his mother. And for me, what he was providing in the sense of our companionship was great in that season.
Which was what?
What do you mean, which was what?
What was he providing you?
The functionality, the emotional intelligence.
No, he was providing the dick. Stop the noise, woman. Stop it. Where's Kevin where we need him?
God damn it! You can't make this shit up. God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
Hold on, and do I got another? Wait, I think I got another sound bite for this one. Hold on, guys, I got something else. Wait, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, you know, I forgot this one. I didn't bring this one out in a long time. Y'all guys gonna like this one. Y'all remember this? Wait, where is it? Where is it? Y'all remember this one? She also on this on the carousel. Let's continue.
The what?
I'm asking you.
You're asking me. Wait, what did you? What word did you say?
Functionality.
You're asking me, was he making love to me
Yes.
good?
Yes.
If the sex was good?
Yes.
The sex was great.
Now let me tell
Yeah,
you
it
this.
wasn't the best I had, but it was
But
great.
this goes to my point.
But that wasn't all. You asked a question.
Yes, but I'm making a point here.
So you want me to
Even though
finish what he was
just
providing?
press a pause.
Okay.
Just press the space bar real
Go
quick.
for it.
Even though you were entertaining him sexually, you will never be saw with that man because he don't fit my standards. That doesn't mean you can't
Well,
entertain him.
First of all, that's not true. So I'm the source. I'm the woman. I'm the one who was.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say it's fuck your source. You're proven by what you just laid out. You combating and fighting it, it tells me you are the one that acts like the alpha. And I'm going to say this once and only once. If you guys get far to this stream, and it's a true fact, there can never be two alphas. One has to be the alpha, one has to be a beta. One has to be a sigma, one has to be alpha. There has to be polarities. Fuck that shit. Fuck that. There is, I repeat, no one that has to be the same level. It's one or the other. This woman is an alpha woman, which she's dealing with by choice and enjoy doing screwing, effing, and sucking by choice a beta male. Rather, man, it's economically more money or, you know, wherever the other labels she want to characterize people. She is the alpha in her mind in action. So how she vibrates and deals with certain men, she deals with beta males by choice. Let's continue. Fair use, fair use.
I'm going to speak from that source, not you. So as a source who was dating him, that's not true. We were seen in public. We were seen on red carpets when I was co-producing my show, as well as on Camera Psychologist with the biggest show on TV, Teen Mom Family Reunion on MTV. We did a lot of that. And we didn't enter a relationship where we led by sex, so I was tied to the sex is so good, this is what we're doing. I would have just ran that play with saying we're just sexing, let's leave it there, I'm grown. I could do that. His functionality, his intellect, his high functioning is what attracted me. As that functionality continued to be attractive and foreplay me, my body started to want him. That happened about 8 months into us having a companionship. And so I'm not saying anyone who does it the first day, I'm not knocking no one, I'm just telling the reality of how we worked it out. So by the time we were intimate, the actual act wasn't all that, but our connection, our functionality, our intimacy, all the foreplay for 8 months made that sex amazing. Because it's subjective on what turns who on. And for this subject, what I'm turned on by is high functioning. I'm turned on by a man who's mature enough, emotionally intelligent enough to be a hybrid, an alpha, a submissive, a man who understands that. So for me, that's what he was feeding me, my foreplay of what turns me on as me as a woman. And so, yes, not only entertained, but I was very much involved in that relationship.
With that
Yes.
remedy or that ingredient that most people do, it's going to run its course.
That's fine. But who cares? Marriage runs its course. Our divorce rate is high.
But listen to the point.
Now, see, there's the problem. She said she don't care, and not only she don't care, she said divorce, people get divorced. Marriage runs its course. No, marriage runs its course by the woman. And like I said before, I believe, I do not know, that it's going to come to the point that men, what they're going to do is not only they're not going to entertain marriage, but if they do, they're going to eventually end this marriage now than the women. They're going to beat a lot of these ladies to the punch now. Because let's be fair, honest, gentlemen, most marriage today does not serve you. And I'll make myself bigger. It does not serve you. And the reason why it serves because the woman that you select to be your wife does not invest enough into not only you, but into the relationship that will eventually make you decide to go into the marriage. Hell, we got ladies right now, from what I'm hearing, that it's been swirling like hell. Go back to the black community to reach back to black men for hopefully a relationship and a marriage after they've been going through their stages of, or riding, what I'm about to play, riding the carousel. They'll be doing that. All right, let's continue.
I'm trying to make. As a high valued woman, she's never going to entertain a man that is not also high value. Now,
It's not true.
I will say it like this. Even though he has high function, to sustain the relationship, that high function will run its course if that's all you have. So you being who you are, you attract a certain type of man. Me being who I am, I can take anybody and transform them into who I want them to be. A woman cannot do that.
That's not true.
In most cases.
That's not true.
Okay, she's not willing.
No, I'm
to
saying
do
that no man can take a woman and transform her into what he wants her to be. She came in and is willing to allow you to tell her what you want and she'll submit to those. You're not God, and you're not the potter maker. So your hands ain't on no pot, sweetie, taking a woman and conforming. You just don't have that power. You probably would like to, but you don't have that power. You can take her, like I just said before, with the womanizer and the guy who, me being in your studio, and say, baby, these are the qualifications, and she chooses, which is her free will to never be yours, to hit them points or not. And when she chooses to hit them points, you then choose to keep her or you choose to shake her. Because you can never take water, you can never take water, baby, and make this 7-Up. You can pour it out and fill it back up, but this will never turn to what you wanted. You're not Jesus. You ain't turning water to wine. That's not how it happens. Now, you can't take a woman and make her what you want. You can tell her what you want, and I'm gonna give her power back, and she'll choose to be that. But you don't get the power of saying you made her that, whether an entrepreneur or a mother or a wife. She chooses to let you do that by telling you, I'll submit to those orders. There's a difference. Now, with the man, a high-valued woman can do the same thing with the man. Baby, you want to be here? This is the qualifications. This is what I need, the prerequisites. He can say yes, or he can say no. Either way. But if he chooses to do that, then that's his choice, and she got what she wanted. It's all about conduciveness. Is it conducive or not?
Right.
However, we don't potter nobody. And that's where the disconnect comes in at, with people who are high valued but low functioning.
But I don't want
Hold on, high value but low functioning. The high value, low functioning, I'm gonna say it again, y'all stick with me. High value, low functioning, thinks the high value can attract the low functioning, and the low functioning and that high value person thinks they can potter the low functioning and mold them to be what they want. It don't work like that at all. That person still chooses to become what you're telling them you want them to be. That's still their power, and they can take it back when they want. And let me hit on something else you said. You said that high functionality will run its course. I believe the opposite.
Without value. See, this is where you keep trying to skew my words or my intentions of my words. I'm not saying
but without value. But what I'm saying is I still don't agree with that point. I don't say your point's a bad point. I just don't agree with it.
I just think you're taking it out of my contents my intentions for saying that. That's what I believe you're doing. And that's not my intentions. Like, you're making points of things that I did not intend.
You said high functionality will run out without value, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm hitting on that point.
For a high value woman, high functioning will run its course if you do not have any value.
And I'm saying that I don't see that being the case.
Okay.
Before I continue, and I'm going to soon stop this here. I'm going to come back for part 2 of this. To go back to Cam Newton. Cam, I know you're that dude, and you make it believe that women like Miss Bryant, or any woman, especially black women, are not dealing with dudes that don't got much and they can, still deal with them. That's not true. Many women like doing that. I think majority of women, depending on the economic status, will like deal with compromised men. Hell, if he looks good and will, bang their back out and, be the submissive servant, they will want that more than anything else. If you have more money than them, that's just a bonus. But at the end, in their mind, they are in control. They are the ones that are the domineer, and you are supposed to be the submissive little boy slave. And I think you never got that yet, or really conceptualized it. But I seen it. I read it out. Most of my people that subscribe to my channel spot this, can read this out, and we draw our own conclusions. All right, let me wrap this up. Fair use.
Being in my field.
But hold on, just real brief. You were saying to that analogy of you turning water into 7-Up. I never thought that I was God or Jesus to be able to control.
But when you say I could take a woman and make her what I want, that's the same thing. That's the same thing. You're taking me and making me what you want. You're taking Jessica and making her what you want. It doesn't matter. You cannot turn water to wine. That's her power. She comes in, you tell her what you want, and she chooses to do that. And if she becomes that, it's because of her choice. Because the day she chooses to undo that, it's undone. So it's still, the power is still with her. No one can take anyone and make them anything, not me, not you. No one has that power.
But the only reason why a person is considering what I need them to be, or will prefer them to be, or would like them to be, is because of my value as a man. If I did not have any value.
That's not why. I love that you think that. It's for the payoff that they get. It's their payoff. Everything we do is for our payoff. It's subjective. So I can say what I think. Let me say this. Please. A woman who would be with a man of your value and become everything you want her to become, because you ain't gonna make her, okay? The payoff would be she gets to be provided for. We're talking about the high value part. She gets to live in a beautiful home. She gets this high quality of life. She gets to be able to possibly have a family with a man who also, has a celebrity status, right? She gets to be in the limelight somewhat. Maybe she has a business, and maybe this relationship is a strategic relationship for her. She can use this to kind of maneuver or what she has going on.
Right.
See, so the answer will be different from a high-functioning woman than a low-functioning woman. Me, high-functioning, I'm listing what I'm thinking. Strategic relationship. For sure. I'm a doctor. For sure. I can move in. I got limelight. You have a lot of limelight.
Right.
Retired NFL player. Okay, in my opinion, Hall of Famer. So we got things that can benefit me as a payoff because I'm a professional who's high functioning. Yes. I'm not looking at it like I can nest in you, move in, put my feet up, and now I can live free. Now, another woman subjectively could think that that's the value, but there's a payoff for why we do anything we do in life. We all have a pay, and it doesn't make it bad. That's life. It's always an exchange of, I will submit to these things that Cam wants because these are the things that I know would come with me submitting.
Yeah. But that's what goes back to the original statement.
Yes.
Will a man really understand true love? Because when you identify those things, it was how can I benefit from the situation? He has high status, I have high status.
Right.
I'm have a business, it matches that. So to my point, when I'm saying I can make a woman in regards to that, I see way too many times a high value man takes a low functioning woman or a low value woman and increase her status overnight. Now, it's still a process. It's still a level
Right.
of submission from both sides,
Right.
not just a female
Right.
side, but also the male side. And also, there's a patience that goes into that to be like, yo,
Wait, hold on. Depending on the negotiation, because some of that stuff, I'm saying could move fast because everyone's negotiation process is different. You know
For
what I mean,
sure.
Cam? Meaning if we coming in saying, okay, Cam, this is a strategic dating thing, we both know it, we gonna have this all planned out, we just gonna hit these points. Meaning
Sorry, I'm gonna stop right there. Hold on, can you guys hear me? Okay, I'm gonna stop right there because this is lengthy, and I will continue this. I'm about to correct. I had to correct Miss Bryant. A man can mold and groom a woman or a young woman. The more she has not been scarred or damaged, and if she is scarred or damaged, she could easily even more be mold because let's be honest, it probably an upgrade and she has no options, possibly. She could be and learn from any man that will take her in. It does not work the same way with when there's a boy that's becoming a man. That's the difference between the sexes. You see women constantly get groomed by men, maybe all the time. You see them, hell, you see them get groomed in business. So don't tell me that that can't happen, regardless of because you're not God, you cannot, unless you give them something they can't. No, any person can be grooming mold, and women are more acceptable to this with certain men. So that is an error that she has laid out, which I had to correct. Now, Tim wrote some here. And Tim writes, okay. Let me read your comment. She's just making ish up at this point. She looking stupid trying to justify her logic. No, it's worse than logic. She don't know what the hell she's talking about. And because of this, it might seem that she has some form of intelligence when you hear her talk, but when you really pay attention to what she's saying, she's not really saying nothing much of anything of substance. But it comes to show you that these are the people that people idolize and watch if they see them on television, that they're like the gospel, that they can't do no wrong and they're speaking some truth. All right, so I labeled the timestamp of this video. I'm going to go back to this another day to wrap this up. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing from y'all in the comment section of this. Do you like this video? Do you find or believe that Dr. Bryant loves or hate black men from your perspective? I'm looking forward to hearing y'all in the comment section of this particular video. Like always, the links to follow me are above. You can follow me on Twitter at ChaosMarine7. You can add me as a friend on Facebook, Eric Ray on Facebook. Also, you could join my Discord service as well. And what else I'm trying to remember? Oh, and also, also follow my Rumble page as well, CRain23 on Rumble. And last but not least, become a member of the Chaos Marine Show as well. Membership got their perks. And one other thing, let me end the poll right now because I want to see the results of this. What are the results? Okay. From looking at this poll, and I'm looking at it now, it says here by 71% of the votes, and there were many votes, probably like 10 votes, not much, but it's a start. Do you believe the good Dr. Bryant is on the carousel? A lot of people say they are, and which I totally agree with the people. All right, so that's it, guys. Please make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you hit the top notification bell for live streams, uploads here on the Chaos Marine Show. And that's pretty much it. And look forward for the conclusion of this particular stream. Thank you again for watching and listening. Like, comment, and subscribe to the Chaos Marine channel. Until next time, let it chaos reign.